You do. Even our schools out here, Diamond and New Bedford Vogue, which are our closest ones around here. It really is it's a competitive thing, and the kids in the school know that they got to maintain a standard, because if they don't cut it, they're out the door, and they go back to Diamond and Durfee. Not there's anything wrong with those schools, but they lose that incentive that they're out there to get. So the kid, it's a good deal for the kids, and it's a good deal for overall just the community even. It's all it is. It's giving back, making the community more hireable. You know what I mean? So you're dealing with young men and women that can find work.
What's the ratio of young people being hired when they leave a vocational school? Do they actually have jobs waiting for them?
Our guidance department does a real good job of tracking where these young people go, and by and large, you're talking a very high percentage of young people going on the trade.
Like Chrisen.
Or, for that matter, as Sergeant Soares was talking about, they are marketable, they're highly skilled, and for the military, we've had quite a few go into military, as I know New Bedford Folk has. So, I mean, why wouldn't you want someone that understands a tool room? For example, the amount of tools and the cost of tools and the ability to take care of that stuff. Why wouldn't you want someone like that? But they're highly motivated. But it's very high. I can't give you the exact percentage, but I know talking with the guidance department, they try to track people 5 years out as to whether they're still in their trade that they're trained in, and it's very high.
Yeah. As I said, I worked at the track. You'd be surprised at the job opportunities in NASCAR, not only in the field of mechanics, but video, journalism. They have it was incredible. I've got a tape on the jobs that are available, and they hire, I mean, these AJ Foyt and all those guys, they will hire. You know what I mean? They have a turnover because the kids move on, but they may spend 2 or 3 years with some top-notch auto racer, all right, and his team. And I said, gee, a lot of people don't realize that. They don't realize the jobs that are involved in NASCAR today. It's just like I went to New Bedford Vogue, by the way, because of the drag racing that I was involved in. So I know a couple of the teachers, I forget their names, but and matter of fact, they built a car up there one time. So they're heavily involved. I mean, you see the students, you know what I mean? It's just I was in awe, you know what I mean? As a boy, and the teachers are so dedicated, you know what I mean? That was the thing. And I think that turns everybody on, when you have that concept, But it's got to be a vocational school.
Correct. That's correct. For the Senior Bowl, it is focusing on the student.
Well, you're retired Army, and the thing is that, like I told Sergeant Soares, is that you don't know the opportunities that the military have, that they have, okay? It's incredible what they can teach you. You being a lieutenant colonel, I retiring as a sergeant, but I used to see that. And I used to say to myself, you got to be kidding me. I never had a problem recruiting, by the way. I was a recruiter, And the big thing was, and I'm sure you do the same thing, is you just got to find out what is it you want to do. Like that girl we had on 2 weeks ago. I wish you could have met her. I was so impressed with this girl. I mean, and she was so focused on what she had to do and what she needed to do to accomplish her goals. And she had a husband who's in the Air Force down in Texas. Now she's going to basic training. This is a highly educated individual who's going to be a doctor. I got to tell you, man. And then the kid, you didn't know the kid that we had here. He was a jumper. Yeah, Bulu. I got to tell you that I was never more proud in my life to be with people like that, There's another kid that was focused. He's down at Fort Bragg, and he's a parachute rigger, And I said, "Boo, I bet you don't buy your beer." I mean, everybody must buy him a beer. I take care of the guys that rig his chutes, But it was the people that he's brought on that have joined the Army. They're the ones that know what they want.
We don't put, we say it all the time, because I can't make no one join the Army. As a recruiter, the individual that wants to do it has got to figure out what he wants to do in life, and we just show him, hey, this is how the Army can help you. We're going to give you the training or this, If you're looking for college money. And
That's what I was telling them. Everybody, you know how many rejects we had? You'd pick them up at 3:30 in the morning, you'd take them up to MEPS. Boy, the slightest thing, disqualified. And I mean, I got into a big hassle up there one time because of pimples. I went to the doctor, right? He's a lieutenant colonel. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm lucky I kept my stripes. I said, "What are you, nuts?" He looks at me. "What are you talking to me?" "Yeah, I'm talking to you." I said, "He's got pimples on his back. So what?" He said, "I'll tell you so what. He's disqualified." "Doctor, you know what time I had to pick him up in Uxbridge?" I don't care where you picked him up. He said, "Sergeant, get the hell out of here. This kid wants to join the Army." He didn't care. He was, bring him back in a couple of months, he said, and see if he can clear up the acme, you know? But I didn't know that was a disqualifying factor.
it's one of them things, and people don't realize it, you know. But it's we do what we do, and the young men and women that want to do it,
It's
you know.
not easy to join a service. I'll
not.
say it again.
Yeah.
It's not.
Academically, you got to pass the test.
Right.
Physically, you got to pass the test.
Oh yeah.
And he must see a lot of rejects. I don't care.
I mean, we get them, you know, the guys that want to do it, and that's the thing though. But the Army's looking. A lot of people don't understand that the Army isn't. We're not there to rehabilitate anyone. You know what I mean?
No, they got out of that business a long time ago.
You know, we're an all-volunteer
I
Army.
know.
You know what I
I used to
mean?
be- I
We're
used to-
looking for the guys that are dedicated, that want to do it, that are qualified to do it.
I was a stockade
So-
chaser one time with the shotgun, with the guy in front of me with a P on his back and white prisoner. I take him out to clean the roads, you know. But
But yeah, so I mean, it's what it is. You know, the guys that come in and I got, you know, you got to be. We're looking for especially in these times with the economy the way it is.
Sure.
Recruiting is at an all-time high. I mean, we're over our production. So you know, they're closing some guys without. Guys with GEDs and
well,
that
because
stuff is
this
getting
is
harder. It's getting harder and harder to get in.
Sergeant Soares, this is an extremely competitive country.
Yeah.
You got to come ready, trained, industry, and you got to come with the technology too. They're not going to train you. Maybe Japan does. You know, where the vice president will sweep the floor if things go slow, but not in America. You know, you got to be computer literate. You got to have, you got to have something impressive on that resume and on that application. You're aware of that, Colonel. You know.
Well, the standards, you know, there's high standards. We talked about that earlier in the program, and as Sergeant Soares had mentioned, you want motivated young people, and that's what we have in the military with that all-volunteer force that came decades ago. It certainly has served us well, and certainly the 20 years I was in, there wasn't a day that went by that you didn't see that. You saw that every single day that these were highly motivated young men and women.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted to serve their country first and foremost. And as far as their training, they took it seriously, and that's the good news. The good news is,
It renews my faith in human nature to hear you talk like that. You know.
well, you know,
There's so many failures out there. You know. I mean,
20 years
I'm
in the
not
Army
criticizing anybody, but boy.
I've taught 10 years now at the high school level, and it does feel good that you've got those kind of
Time is up.
women.
Time is up, unfortunately, Colonel, and we're glad that you could come by down. We hope you're going to come back again because we need
Love
to keep
to.
talking about that, you know. And certainly Sergeant Soares, who's getting to be a figurehead here, and we're glad he is. But you come back anytime. I mean, you know, we want to continue this conversation.
Thank you for inviting
And
me.
to end over again, sweetheart, I'll tell you, sweetie, I feel so happy that you're taking care of that ex-jarhead. Believe me, he needs taken care of. You know, so to all our friends, certainly want to thank Colonel Cured and Sergeant Soares for showing up.
Thank you.
And I don't know how I'm going to end the show because Stunard over there is looking at how many seconds have I got left? Talk to me, it's okay. How much? Bye-bye? Bye-bye. We'll see you next week, fans. Thank you very much. Take care. I'm going to get help from him now. Colombian Giant on television? Of course I did.